What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy AJ Red. I'm back again with another video. I told y'all this shit gotta keep going. And tonight I'm back to talk about Bishop Wooten, or Wooden, whatever the fuck his name is, and Beyoncé, and how he dogged the shit out of her and talked about her over there at the church house up in the pulpit. Y'all wanna discuss it? Okay, I'm going to anyway. So here we go.
It's the AJ Red Show, starring me, AJ Red. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into it.
Hey, we gon' fuck up the thing, y'all. Apparently, Bishop Wooten is mad because Beyoncé went down there and made that Renaissance album just like Kyle Messy ass was, and he had some things to say about it. And apparently Beyoncé went down there and fucked up the thing. So here we go. So anyway, before I start the video, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed, liked, and shared the video. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so that you'll get the notifications when I upload these videos. So I had, jumping right in basically, fuck it. I had seen actually on Instagram yesterday where Bishop Wooten over there, and I think Durham, North Carolina, some church he passed over there. I think it's Durham. I don't know. I can't really remember exactly, but fuck it. That's what I think. So we're gonna go with that. He was over there at the pulpit talking about how, you know, Beyonce's album, Renaissance, and basically, in particular, Church Girl, the sample that she had used via Twinkie Clark. Twinkie Clark actually got on there and was actually thankful and, you know, appreciative of her actually even sampling her music as one of the biggest stars in the world at this present time. And Bishop Wooten Bishop Wooten says bullshit. He said Beyoncé done went down there and sold her soul to the devil. He said she done put out trash, you know, filth, butt fuckery bullshit. You know, he said it's basically some shit that you shouldn't let your children listen to and all this different shit. He said even though your kids have a cell phone at 3 months old, he said bottom line, your kids shouldn't be listening to this album. I do agree. I agree with him 100%. 3 month, 4 month shit. If you're under 17 years old, you probably shouldn't be listening to her music. This is for grown-ups only. But it was the tactic that he took. He just tore her the fuck to shreds. He basically said that you know, Twinkie knew when and if she actually gave the rights, which I'm pretty sure she went down there, Beyoncé did, and talked to Twinkie Clark and get permission to go and sample this song. And fuck, I even went as far as to look over there on Twinkie's page, and Twinkie even, you know, stroked out a couple of keys and shit and did a little song, you know, a little ditty or whatever real quick on the song that Beyoncé sampled. And she said in the beginning of the video, she is so grateful and so, you know, honored that she used, you know, her music in a sample for her album. So looks like to me, Twinkie got her check shit on the front end, and at the end of the day, she signed over, you know, not the rights to the song, but she gave Beyoncé permission to sample the song. But Bishop says it's a bunch of bullshit. He say Twinkie ought to know better, you know, because Beyoncé done put out this. I really have one question for the Bishop Wooten. I want to know. He said somewhere in, because I went back and found the whole video. I told y'all I'm nosy as fuck when I want to be, and I'm going to find out what I want to find out. So I went down there to the YouTube and I found this whole video, basically about 4 minutes and some odd seconds and whatnot, about him going on this whole, you know, particular rant about this particular song, even, of course, including the album. And he said in a particular portion of it, he said, you know, the words are so horrible, I would tell them to you, but shit, they're just too, basically kind of explicit or too, you know, too explicit for the church, basically, for me to sit up here and say to y'all. So then he goes on to say, I'm not going to say the, you know, the lyrics and all this different stuff. My ultimate question for Bishop Wooten is, if he sees my video or anybody else's, I want the ultimate question for you all to think about is, what is Bishop Wooten's Apple playlist looking like that Beyonce's album even came across his desk in the first place? Came across his iPad while he was sitting there studying for, for scripture, to bring forth, to break bread, on the word of life with the peoples over there down on Sunday morning, while he was down there in deep contrition and thinking on the word of God, studying, 2 Timothy 2:15. He was doing that, y'all. And if y'all know 2 Timothy 2:15, what is it? A workman that needed not be ashamed, right? Divine the word of truth, all that gibble gabble. That, check it out. I know it, but I done had a couple of them, but trust me, I know that in particular for sure. But the bottom line, he was over there doing God's work, getting ready to go and feed the hungry spiritually, and clothe the naked, possibly, because shit, they keep most of their money to themselves. And I don't know about the hungry. Shit, plenty of them sitting up there fed up in there in the parishioners area, but I don't know about the audience. But the bottom line is, the key point of it all I'm trying to make is, why he's doing all this and being this devout Christian, this holy man, this man of God, some kind of way, the devil, because the devil has a way of working his way into your life. I can tell you, you'd be doing the right thing, and all of a sudden, wham, bam, boozle, swoop. The devil comes in and say some shit to you and fuck you all the way up. But he's supposed to know better. He's supposed to know better. And at the end of the day, some kind of way Beyonce's album came across his desk and he decided to listen, not only just listen and realize in his deep contrition while he's playing Shirley Caesar, the Caravans, this kind of thing, because I'm pretty sure this is music of his era. That's why I'm naming these artists. What her name was, Albertina Walker, all that kind of stuff. Even the Clark sisters, because he even talked about them. He knows so much about them, He tried them. He knows so much about them. I'm going to use their lyrics against him while he minding thine business. But getting back into it, the bottom line is, this came across your music line while you're doing your thing. And I'm just using this as an example. You hear this ain't part of your playlist, normally. So apparently first of all, you've been dabbling over there in this music in the first place. Second of all, you've been fucking around there up on Apple Music or down to YouTube, talking to the people or listening down to the music and trying to see what the secular artists are up to. So for him to not to only hear it and not jump up and change the channel, he must went and bought the album his goddamn self while he's sitting up there talking about, most of the church folk that he'd be mad with would actually not just defend it, but not even say nothing. Well, fuck, half the audience, you was getting all them amens. I will say that you were getting plenty of amens, clapbacks. People was on his page, on his same train as him and all this different shit, encourage him in the spirit and all this and whatnot and so forth. But the bottom line, I bet you everybody, and even if you go back and watch that video with that woman sitting in the back with their hat on looking like a pilgrim, with that outfit on, something like the shirt I got on right now, which I'm paying homage to her in her dedication of being an evangelist. Shout out sister. And even Pastor Wooten, or Bishop Wooten, because I don't want to fuck it up for the people, because I know some of y'all church-going folk, and for y'all that's mad with me for putting this video out, I'm so sorry. But at the end of the day, if you look at the facts, the truth is the truth. This man ain't had no goddamn business over there looking at no Beyonce videos, probably looking at her body and all this other extra shit, studying the lyrics and the moves. He probably can give it to you word for word like he said in the pulpit. But at the end of the day, never looking at, that's why the church and the world doesn't connect, because it's the church folk that feel like they're a clique. And the bottom line is, you're supposed to go over into the world and introduce God to the people. That's one of the barriers that the Clark sisters broke. That's one of the barriers that Kirk Franklin broke. That's why they're actually where they are today as artists, because they're actually dealing with secular artists. And these artists are saved people behind the scenes, but they actually make their money off of secular music. But the church deems that as, if you can go out there and sing sexual music or secular music and, show a little thigh or a little leg above that quarter of an inch above the knee or some shit like that, you a hoe. Fuck the hoe. I ain't talking about the hoe in the garden. I'm talking about a hoe, the one that stand up on the corner with that ruby red lipstick on and that blue eyeshadow. Yeah, and the red fingernails. That hoe. They calling you a hoe, you know, you a harlot and all this other bullshit. But at the end of the day, but if she sit up there right now and donated a check to his organization, I bet he'll take that motherfucker. While you were there talking about he'll meet with her right about now. She gave him any kind of hush money. He'll be somewhere up in the bishop's office, once again, sturdy in the word to bring, you know, the word to the peoples and preach the peoples into giving them more monies and all this other stuff. That's just me saying that. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it, like I told y'all. For y'all that are devout Christians and don't like cussing and y'all so devout for the church, maybe you ought to go ahead and change the channel right about now, because ain't shit about to change. Nothing. The bottom line, he's a crook trying to criticize somebody else in their music. He said, oh, the church, the music we sing in the church should be holy. We supposed to be dancing, all this different shit, you know, up in the church. Okay, well, do your thing, Thug Thizzle. You know, your bishopness. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, at some point in his life, he was up in the house, vacuuming, studying up on the word, stirring up a pot, a gumbo, you know, or jambalaya or something, shaving his face. And this came across his Apple Music or somewhere, or somebody he knows really listens to this shit and they brought it to his attention. But the bottom line is he indulged in all of it. He also mentioned that with Twinkie knowing that Beyoncé isn't saved, and now that's his definition of saved, because I'm assuming he's Kojic. I believe the church he actually is your bishopness over. I think it's a Kojic church, but it seems like he's calling for one for he says that he made, you know, a mockery of how the fact that Twinkie actually, you know, appreciated Beyonce sampling her music. He made a fucking total mockery of that in the pulpit. Then he turns, he says, how can you appreciate somebody, you know, the best when you are the best? And let me tell you, I will agree with him again on that point. Twinkie, and when it comes to that motherfucking B3 Hammond organ, I'm still holding it to this day that she is the best. Just like I say Whitney Houston sang the Star Spangled Banner. Ain't nobody beat that yet. Sorry. Drop down the comments, debate with me all day long, but I still stick to what I say. I'm an open-minded person. But the bottom line is, yes, Twinkie is the best at what she does. Now, vocally, at the present moment, I watch her constantly on YouTube and anything else about the records. I know all this shit. You feel me? So, you can't fuck with me on when it comes to that. That's like Golden Girls to me. Don't fuck with my trivia. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line, it seems as though he's calling for Twinkie to go over there and say, you know, look at her as an unsaved woman that's married with children, that's making a living, and that's behind closed doors, is spiritually aware, and probably saved. People saying that she's, you know, sold her soul to the devil. I'm not going to say that. The bottom line is, after watching Black is King, I can identify with a lot of the shit, not just the, you know, the jewelry and the fashion, although that shit was motherfucking magnificent. Hats off me up, Miss Beyonce. I never got the chance to say that, but that Black is King, on Disney, that shit was motherfucking fire beyond belief. But the bottom line is, you can't look at this woman as unsaved because she's doing her job. Just as though he's doing his job in some sense by condemning and preaching everybody to hell unless you put in a certain amount in collection plate, or you sing a certain type of music, or, you know, you carry yourself in a certain way. But the bottom line is, the Clark sisters actually saw past that. Twinkie saw past that. She saw beyond that. They've been working with people like Missy Elliott for years. And nobody said, I ain't never hear Bishop Tutu. I mean, I keep wanting to say Bishop Tutu, because every time I think about a bishop, that's the most famous one I think of comes to mind. But Bishop Wooten, you know, I don't recall, you know, him speaking out about them working with Missy Elliott, Faith Evans, you know, other secular artists. Karen Clark, she worked with Faith Evans on albums and her music. No, they never sampled their music in a way where people would look at it as, oh my God, as well, church people. You know, that's going too far, that's doing too much. But in his eyes, honey, Beyonce need to be carrying the cross on her back right about now. And, you know, the people's walking around her, bringing her down into her last days and nailing her motherfucking ass up on the cross up there and leaving her up there and giving her vinegar and giving her 72 thorns, you know, a crown up on top of her head and all that other jazz they got written down in the book, in the Bible. But, you know, he's suggesting a damn near, you know, commanding that Twinkie hears him out and goes back and talks to Beyonce and have aha, come to Jesus moment. Oh my God, I forgot I'm Kojic. I forgot we ain't supposed to be fucking around with y'all. I forgot, I was lending a hand, now extending an olive branch, and now I'm being sampled by one of the biggest stars in the world. And people that actually listen to that are actually now that did not fucking know the Clark sisters are now going to listen to the Clark sisters music. That's keeping one, the Clark sisters alive in their music, their legendary iconic status. That's one. And then two, it's basically bringing those who have not even heard of the Clark sisters, like I said before, or their music, and possibly, therefore, getting you, as some of you pastors like to say, you cast a net when y'all get down there and do the thing y'all do, and open the doors of the church and all, y'all casting a net and all that different stuff. So you casting your net, so now that's a feeding over from Beyoncé down through the Clark sisters over there down to your church, your bishopness. You need to understand and try to get with folk like this and try to talk with this woman and try to understand one-on-one and not just going from appearance of what she's saying about in her lyrics. Because I'm sure if you sat down with her and actually talked to her and had an interview, she can explain every motherfucking thing she put in it. And let me just tell y'all, I've done these videos like I did with Kaya, defending Beyonce and the album. The bottom line is this: I still would say I am not a mega iconic Beyonce fan. When she came here to Houston, where I currently reside, I wanted to go and buy tickets, but fuck, they were too expensive. My bad, your beehiveness, But sister, you was out of my pocketbook, and I couldn't reach that right quick and right then. So with that being said, I'm not one of those that's devout to say fuck that, I ain't paying my rent or my car note, to go to a Beyonce concert. But I will say that if the tickets were reasonable, yes, I would go, because I'm pretty sure it's a really good fucking show, and I'm probably sure that's why they're priced so high, because she gives such a good fucking show. And with that being said, I don't listen to every single song that she makes, but there's pretty much albums that I still listen to from Destiny's Child up until now that she's made on her own that I still fucking love songs on, to this day that I still listen to and play. But I'm still defending the fact that here it is, the church once again thinks they know best for the world and all this different shit. And so he goes further on to say, after he pretty much demands that Twinkie go down there and talk to Beyonce and get her to pull that song from her album, I'm thinking, he says, I think that he basically says the Kojic, bishopness has been above him, the big dogs, probably like, Twinkie's brother-in-law, Bishop J. Drew Sheard will go and talk to Twinkie and have him to speak with her and talk to Twinkie and have her to go talk to Beyonce, some shit like that. But I see Bishop J. Drew Sheard like this. I don't see him being that man. I don't see him being the one to go down there and tell Twinkie. I think he ain't gonna even fuck with that. That's Twinkie's whole career. That's Twinkie's business. Even as a pastor, I don't think he would be in the likes or the mindset or the mind frame of even telling her that and expecting her to believe that bullshit. You feel me? I think it's total fuckery. I don't think J. Drew Sheard Senior is gonna buy into that at all. So good luck with that wooden bishopness. So then he went on to say, nobody respects the church. The world does not respect the church. Well, hell, the church don't respect the people. Y'all take all our lot bill money, y'all take all our rent money, our car note money, insurance money, and then you turn around and pass the bucket 7 times more through the week to my Bible study when I can read the Bible for my goddamn self and learn it for myself, and then I got to come down there and then y'all passing the collection plate for that. No, it's not all about money. But you also saying the Bible you say develop a relationship with him yourself. Well, why am I study coming down there paying you to help put me through to the man that ought to have a straight up hotline number to my own self? I know the number. I don't need your bishopness or anybody else, to go through their Rolodex, as they used to say back in the day, their address book, or even through their motherfucking cell phone laws. Let me stop sounding so fucking old. But even through their cell phone law. But the bottom line is, I know how to get my blessings through. I've discovered that, I thought for a while I already knew it, but I've discovered a whole new way. And let me tell you, yeah, your bishopness, I don't even need you at all, period. But I don't think J. Drew Sheard, Senior, Bishop J. Drew Sheard would actually even go to bat for any of this that this man is even speaking of. And like I said before, as far as the church respecting people, as far as him saying that people don't respect the church, like I said, y'all taking every goddamn thing we got. Our hope, our faith, we got to bring it down there to you and leave it all at the altar. But then at the same time, we take the same shit home and still got to bring more money to you, but still we leaving it all at the altar, all right? Ding, 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 ding. I just got it. We leaving it all at the altar, all right? Your 10% of everything you earn, because if you don't, it's going to be a problem. He said basically that he felt like it's, again, I say it's not the people that speak up like myself and say that, he need to go somewhere and sit down and chill out somewhere. He says more the ones that won't say anything. Like I said before, fuck, they wasn't saying that because half of them already bought the album like he did over there at the Apple Store on his iPhone or iPad. So I don't understand why these jive turkeys get up here in these pulpits with these dressed up robes on and these crosses on made of gold that you done paid for, and y'all too goddamn crazy. Keep going down there giving them y'all money when y'all can be dripping in the same goddamn gold and living in the same kind of fucking house. Keep your money to yourself. And I don't give a good goddamn what nobody said about any of these videos when I speak on these situations. The bottom line is, this woman she's doing her job. At the end of the day, that's how she got to be where she is. Just like he got to be, and probably I'm sure a house paid for, bigger than what he even needs. The product can even walk around at his particular age, as Wendy say, because y'all know he's a man of a particular age. So with that being said, he done probably got somewhere and built a big ass mammy fucking mansion that he can't even walk. He probably don't see half that motherfucker. He probably see the bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, as they say, the restroom over here in Texas, that kind of shit. Well, we say the motherfucking bathroom, period. And maybe his closet, you ain't doing all that walking around the house. You ain't doing that much cardio, Bishop. Goddamn. Go and get you a nice little 3-bedroom home with you and your wife, because I'm pretty sure you married, because y'all got to be married and whatnot for the most part to be a bishop. Anyway, and even sitting more than them clerical positions y'all sitting in, and get y'all a 3-bedroom house, get y'all a red door to paint it, because all these things going on, because y'all know the Bible say, they painted their door red when the plague and all that stuff came around and all this stuff, and they were looking for the firstborn in the family to kill them. So, they had to figure it out pretty much to paint the door red. I think I'm right about it. Amen. Yeah. But anyway, bottom line, I think Bishop Wooten need to go sit down some goddamn well. Y'all drop down in the comments and tell me what y'all think. Y'all go over there and watch that video that made up on YouTube. Bishop Wooten over there going in on Beyoncé about her Renaissance album, particularly the song Church Girl. And because it came from, it was sampled from Twinkie Clark. The song, I can't even come to mind right now because I ain't ate shit all day. I done worked all day long, ain't getting no lunch breaks. I've been out here fighting a good fight out here, trying to keep the people monkeypox free and shit, and COVID free, and myself. So I am tired, but at the same time, I still want to get on here and give y'all this information so y'all can go ahead and check it out. But make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share if you have not already. Those of you who have, I want to stop again and say I thank you so much, because I feel like I asked so much of you all, but you deliver so much more than I expected. And I want to stop and say I thank and love you all for it very, very much for my old ticker. Share with somebody you like. Share with somebody you don't like. Share with a motherfucker you know. Share with a motherfucker you don't know. Because if you don't like me, I guarantee you somebody else will. Just check the comments. Check them likes. Check them subscribers. They going up every morning, every day. And I appreciate you all. For newcomers, I thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I will always bow before you all in thankfulness for what you all do in support of me. I really appreciate it. So y'all love yourself real good, real good. And love somebody else that's willing to love on you in the same way back. All right? Until the next video, y'all holla. Take care of yourself. All right.